If you're over 25 and you're a gamer, you've probably wondered at some point if maybe you should be doing something better with your life. I mean, adult life can be stressful. Cost of living is at an all-time high, loneliness was named a national epidemic, and people are staring at a screen, doom scrolling for a large portion of their days. But through all of that, we actually have found a silver lining, and that's gaming. It's an honest living. Okay, we all know the script, right? People might tell you it's a waste of time, it's for kids, that we should pick up a new hobby, maybe something like golf. I think society has put false narratives out there about gaming and what gamers are, and now that gaming is actually becoming pretty mainstream, I think we're really starting to push past that false narrative. I don't think gaming is the thing wasting our adulthood. I think in today's day and age, it's actually one of the last places for many people that adulthood lets us play. And here's the thing about games aren't for adults argument. Nobody told the games industry that. So last year, gaming crossed $200 billion in global revenue for the first time, which is bigger than the global movie and music industries combined. So who's spending that money? Not 12-year-olds. I'm pretty sure most 12-year-olds are broke. So the average gamer is in their mid to late 30s. These are people with jobs, kids, car payments. So the industry already knows what the culture is yet to admit. Gaming is an adult activity. And if you have Gen Z telling you that you're pushing 30 and you need to get off the game, stop streaming, don't listen to them. In a few years, they're going to be doing the same thing. Okay, so let's just say you take the advice of quitting gaming and you go do what adults are supposed to do with their free time. Let's just take a look at that menu real quick. Option 1 is vacation. Great, that's an excellent option. Yeah, let me just go quit my job and spend $4,000. So most people only get, 1 or 2 weeks out of the year to go do that. Option 2 is a classic. Go out drinking. You drop $150 to yell over music, and maybe the next day it's kind of just donated to your hangover. So I think there's a reason that Gen Z is kind of opting out of drinking culture. Option 3, you can become a hobby person, and this is great. Run clubs, surfing, pottery. There's so many things like that I want to do, but these hobbies really just assume that you have energy left after the job, after the commute, after the chores, the errands, the kids if you have them. And I think this point really reflects what I'm trying to say. A lot of us are just really tired after work, after the 9 to 5. There is not a lot of energy left over for people to go do these things every day, because that's just the society we live in today, especially in the United States. Like, it is a hustle culture. Unless you're a trust fund baby, you got to be out there working that capitalistic system if you want to make it. Some people might not know that video games aren't a complete waste of time. So this one's for the productivity maxers. Researchers found that surgeons who played video games more than 3 hours a week actually made fewer errors and even worked faster than the surgeons who didn't. On top of that, gaming improves creativity, keeps your mind active, and is actually being explored as a way to keep older adults mentally and socially engaged. For some people, gaming has even rewritten their entire lives. So that's one thing I've always loved about esports. I mean, look at a lot of the players. Love them to death, but maybe 20 years ago, they might have been bullied, by the jocks in high school. But now they're filling arenas with 50,000 screaming fans. It's kind of funny because, maybe these guys were told to go outside and now they're given a chance at fame, making millions, simply just because they're cracked at video games. And nobody in that arena really cares about anything other than if they hit the play, and I think that's beautiful. So this goes even further than esports. Iron Mouse wanted to be an opera singer, then she was diagnosed with a genetic immune disorder that left her largely bedridden and isolated. So in 2017, stuck at home, she started streaming. About 7 years later, 2024, she became the most subscribed streamer in Twitch history, the first woman and the first Latina to ever hold that record.
And the people goes to Iron Mouse!
Hi everybody, can you hear me?
This is all from a room that she often can't leave. And she's even said herself this was the only career her health allowed her to have. So the world had already, written her off. It really does write a lot of people off for how they look, how they sound, what their bodies can and cannot do. Gaming keeps not getting that memo, and I hope it never does. Back to the reality of our current world, young people are the loneliest of anyone. And that's partially probably due to the invention of screens, but gaming is one of those screens where you actually don't have to be lonely. We used to have places to just be with people. It's actually called the third space, and there's places that weren't work and weren't home, and it's where people were able to just connect and be together. But those places are mostly gone now, or they cost money, and we've covered how that's going for, unfortunately, a large population. So where did the hangout go? For a lot of people, it actually went to Discord. When I graduated college, I personally could not get out of there fast enough. That's probably just me. Except one thing you realize when you graduate is college is kind of the last place that just hands you friends. And after that, you're on your own. And then once I graduated college, I actually found some of my best friends in Valorant in a random queue. And that was years ago. They're still some of my closest friends. And last year, I got to go to one of their weddings. You know, I've seen hundreds of versions of it. People who found their group in a random server, people who even found, you know, their husband, their wife, people who log on every night, not for the game, but because that's where everyone is. And a lot of people might call it escapism, but I don't think you can call it that when the thing you find there is real people who show up for you, sometimes more than people in your real life. Okay, let's just do a disclaimer. Of course, everything in moderation. I'm not going to insult you by explaining that. You should know if gaming is adding to your life or eating it, and we all do need to go outside 100%. But if you're playing games as an adult and carrying around this low-grade guilt about it, like you're kind of getting away with something, you should have outgrown it, you're wasting your time, I just want you to put that to rest, and I want us to get past that narrative as a society that is already shoving screens and technology down our throats 24/7. Because this is actually one of the good options of that. And I gotta say it, the people who are dismissing gaming are missing out on something they just don't really get from the outside. You know, they don't know what it's like to be an elf. They don't know what it's like to get a perfect head tap. They are missing screaming with their friends in a haunted warehouse or just disappearing into an entire world. Gaming didn't waste our time. For a lot of us, it's the thing that saved it. See you in the lobby.